You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
And we are joined by my youngest son, Zack, who is here with us. We had to take the day off, and not for a good reason, really. I mean, it's a good reason, but not a good reason.
I would say not a good reason.
Not a good reason. Yeah, I have my yearly checkup for I had cancer, and of course every 3 years I have colonoscopy, and then every year they do a camera, and it's always say, you're going to feel this, a little bit of air. And I'm like, well, you're going to feel a little bit of air too, coming out the other side.
Yeah.
And then Zack unfortunately had some other issues that need to be looked at.
I think on one of these podcasts, did I talk about my toothbrush incident?
Yes, mixed with the.
All right, well, so if you have listeners, they know
they
know my issue.
Yeah, the issue with because it was hemorrhoid cream. Yeah.
So
but what we didn't know, because our whole thought was when we were going to go in, there's going to be a checkup, and they were going to go through all the options of what could be done.
Right. Yeah, I thought they were going to set up for a surgery, but no, they put a laser beam in my ass.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much infrared your hiney.
They said it was going to feel warm, and it felt like lava.
You kept saying how hot you were.
Yeah, I think it heated my core like 5 degrees. I really think my internal temperature skyrocketed after that. But no, I wasn't expecting that because I just thought I thought he would look at them.
Yes.
And
so I was expecting that.
This is your options. What
so
you
I
can
told him,
do.
I was like, I washed it real good for you. And they said, I'm scrubbing too hard, actually. But
yeah.
But you know, I want to make a good first impression.
Yeah.
So
But you didn't clean. See, I had to clean. But you didn't do that.
No, they didn't tell. No,
Well, you thought it was just let's see how bad they are.
No, so I just cleaned in the shower. I didn't want him to judge me, or learn my diet from one.
I'm sure he's seen some.
I'm sure he's seen
things.
some doozies for sure.
I'm sure he has.
But yeah, while he was back there, he's like, "I'll give you a wax,
free wax job." No, it's interesting because our thought was, I knew. Well, I messed up because apparently it called me and said, "Hey, can we change the date?" But it must have been like in May.
It must have been a long time ago because you never wrote it down.
No, and then I had the card. I saw the card in my wallet said November 7th, and then he said he had an appointment November 7th, and I thought, that works out perfect because it's the same doctor. We'll just
Family
affair. Although they only have one camera that has to be cleaned, and it takes 2 hours to clean it. So I screwed up, but luckily they fit me in and we got that done. But our thought was with Zack, we'd have to just go back.
This was like a pre-appointment to see what they could do about it.
He said, "Nope, I'll get the laser."
Yep, hold on.
Okay.
Bend over. Here comes the laser. So you feel okay?
It feels weird, but it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
No.
Is your temperature coming down?
I don't know. I'm still on fire. I tell you put a thermometer back there, it would say done.
They go beep 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 beep.
It'd be like, this chicken is ready.
Well, they tell you don't look things up online because you're not going to. But these things we knew there was a thing called banding. They band them and then they fall off. This is something that we had no idea going in that this was happening because we were a little. All of us were a little nervous. I'm not as nervous because I'm used to being invaded. I pull my pants down. I'm on the table. I'm all bent over, and the nurse says, how do you
feel?
You feel well? As well as can be with my ass hanging out. So I don't know how you want me to feel. Exactly. And she kind of chuckled about it, but it's like, I don't know if she chuckled at that or maybe she chuckled at something else. I don't know. I'm just going to say she chuckled at what I said. I don't want her to chuckle at whatever else she saw back there.
Plus, I had to tell people that I was not going to be at work today because I was seeing the doctor, and I twisted my ankle yesterday.
Yeah.
So people thought they're like, "Oh, you're gonna have the doctor look at your ankle." I said, "Well, it's not that kind of doctor." And they're like, "What kind?" I said, "It's an asshole doctor." I'm supposed to say that on the...
Yeah, I don't know if you can say a whole lot.
But anyways, and they're like, well, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I don't know why he won't look at your ankle.
Yeah, he's not an ass of a doctor.
I wasn't calling him names. That's what he does.
It's not an ass, ankle, head doctor.
No, he's the whole doctor.
He's the whole, the whole doctor.
He's the whole doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the whole doctor.
No,
doesn't
but
do
just
the whole body, just the
the
whole.
particular hole.
Yeah.
That goes all the way up.
He's one of the best,
though.
though.
He was great.
He was one of the best. He is. He did my surgery, and what was weird is I had gone in after, and he didn't even have any clue that you were. No, your son was here. Yeah, just about 2 hours ago. Because we went at 11, he didn't know.
Yeah, he didn't
all the
seem
asses,
to be that interested.
all the asses look the same, I guess,
They
in a
both
way,
do.
in one way or the other. But anyway, that's why we're doing a little bit early, and also, well, this is after, so I don't want to say vote. Hopefully, you voted, because we're doing this the day before the vote. So the next time we're on, maybe we'll talk about how that went, or maybe we won't. I don't know. But today's show is actually going to change up a little bit because we asked Zack if he'd be willing to do the podcast. So here he is. So we wanted to talk about our adventure. So that's our adventure. And I also want to ask, because you have a dog, and Terry's had we've all had dogs. I've had a dog. I've pretty much stuck with dogs in this family. And the topic is, what do you let your dog lick?
Ranger used to lick the inside of people's shoes.
Oh, my goodness. He used to just drown them.
And they always thought he peed on them, but he licked the inside of the shoes. And he licked the inside of the soccer
inside,
bags.
yeah.
Like where they put their stinky shin guards in their socks. He would lay in there and lick it. Gross.
Some people, they allow them to lick the dinner plates after the meal.
That's gross.
No, Rigby doesn't do that.
No. Paper plate? If you're going to throw it away?
Yeah, a paper plate I'll give him.
Not a dinner plate.
I've let him lick the inside of yogurt containers, but I'm throwing them away when I'm
He
done.
likes to lick my hands first thing in the morning when he wakes up.
He must be salty.
He'll jump up on the bed and then he'll search for my hands and then they'll just be soaked. And Sarah just loves that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm sure she does. The discussion morphed from plate licking to people sharing ice cream, their cones with dogs.
No.
No way.
No.
Although Ranger used to take bites of his cookies when he was little, and he just ate it right after.
Well, that's what Tinnitus does too. Finn too.
Mm-hmm.
He'll steal the.
But he'll steal the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Ranger would just take a bite and let him take a bite, and then he'd take
Oh
another
no,
one.
Titus takes the whole thing. He's a hog. Literally.
I don't know if Rigby would share.
Well, Rigby just get a little bite of yours and wouldn't take it off of you.
I don't know. He's there's been times I was just holding something and he'll jump up.
Oh, Ranger.
Rigby.
But Ranger. I meant Ranger.
Oh, yeah, Ranger would share. Rigby, no. Like
He would take the whole thing.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Well, first of all, he's got a big mouth and a long tongue.
You have a dishwasher. Would you put your dog dishes stuff in with your regular plates to clean?
I'd probably put it on, because we have the top rack where I put all the dishes and stuff, and then the bottom we usually put like pans and whatnot. I have no problem putting it on the bottom. I don't know. I don't like it.
That was just something we talked about on another podcast about.
I couldn't find his dish when we were there Saturday.
It's under the couch.
He probably carried it in there because he was hungry.
I hid it because I'm tired of him carrying it around.
Oh, when you're cooking, does he clang it behind you and scare you? And
yeah,
that's what
he throws it. He demands food. If you're eating something, he'll pick up his bowl. He'll come up behind you. He'll drop it. But if you don't hear it, he'll pick it back up and throw it back on the ground.
Oh yeah, he does. He does that.
Feed me, damn it!
Yeah, he's done that here.
So
sure.
I hid it. I can't take any more of that.
I don't know if I'd want dogs. This couple, the girl had put in all the dogs' dishes and stuff in with the regular dishes, and he was having a fit.
I kind of get that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Although it's no different. It's a lot different than the lady that took the toilet seat off and put it in the dishwasher to clean the toilet seat.
No.
Okay, that's a no.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't think a toilet seat goes in the
it is
dishwasher
all getting washed. I kind of think of it, but the same thing with a washing machine. Like I won't put certain things in with my regular clothes just because it's like, you know what I mean?
It's
Like I won't
gross.
put I won't put like Rigby's
Towels.
Oh,
towels
no.
and stuff in
No.
with my, you know what I mean? I know it's all getting washed together, so it's probably not
But
that
then
big of a deal.
then your stuff will have dog hair on them.
Dog hair and I don't know, but I
Mud.
see the same way with like a dishwasher. Like, yeah, it's all getting washed, but I don't want.
You want it in with you don't
No,
want the
I don't want
toilet
the
in
toilet
with your
seat in
pot
with
with
my
your spaghetti
plates.
pan. Yeah.
You go in and they forgot that. Oh, hold on. A visitor comes in, has to go to the bathroom, and then there's no toilet seat. Hold on, I got to get
It's
out
in
of the dishwasher.
Well, I'm not staying for dinner then either.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to eat, or you.
What kind of place?
Hopefully,
is
did
this?
that before you ate off the plates. that
Who
were-
does that? You can just take a sponge to your toilet
Right.
seat.
That's why they make that heavy duty cleanser.
They add spray for that. You don't
Yeah.
put it in the dishwasher. Can you imagine, even if you didn't use the restroom, if you're just sitting there, you're over for a dinner party, and she's like, oh, let me get you a clean plate, and moves the toilet seat out of the way to grab your...
Yeah, and the dog's dish and,
And the dog,
and the kitty litter thing. It's in there too.
the kitty
Just
litter scoop.
scoop. Oh, brother. Some people like the dog eating off their own fork during dinner.
No.
It's just
Why
nasty.
would you want to do that?
As
That's
much
like him licking me in the face, like when he licks you in the mouth.
as much butt as Rigby.
He loves
sniffs.
butt.
And I mean, what he licks, there's no way he's licking off my fork.
If he could talk, he could have told the doctor today all about my issues.
I'm sure he
probably
could have.
told you what you ate and
Be
everything.
like, yeah, he's got 4 of them right around there. And sniffed them out.
I sniffed those out a long time ago.
I was checking what kibble he's on.
One woman pre-chews dinner, the scraps, and then gives it to her bird.
She what?
She gives it to her bird.
The scraps.
So a woman pre-chews dinner scraps for her exotic bird.
She
It's not a dog.
pre-chews it.
I don't pre-chew anything for another
Not
animal.
for an animal, no.
Yeah.
What's
But anyway, I don't let the dog. Well, I mean, dog. Sometimes Riggy will get you just by happen chance. He'll jump up and just lick you.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to be licked.
Make sure your mouth is closed when he comes in because he
He's-
gets so excited he'll lick you.
Well, and because I tell people he's aggressive, but not aggressive. You know what I mean?
he's aggressive but not.
aggressively loving.
Yes, he's not aggressively mean.
He won't
No.
bite you, but he'll make you bleed when he
Licks
tackles you
you.
to the ground
Oh,
and
for
then
Licks
licks
you.
you.
sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, like that's when I used to walk him, and there'd be little kids, in this neighborhood, and can I pet the doggy? I just want him. He
I don't
is going to
know.
lick you. Your face high. He's going to get your face. He loves to lick.
I did something wrong when he was a puppy, but I don't know how to break that. And people say, "Oh, you try this. You put your leg up like this." He doesn't care. He just moves your leg
He's-
out of the way and then
He's very strong.
puts you in the
He
figure
is-
four.
He's stronger
He's
than your
very
average
strong.
beagle, and yeah,
Strong-willed. He's very
Yes.
strong-willed. Yes, you should see Zach's backyard. He will dig until China to get whatever it is in his. I mean, the holes in your backyard.
I said if he digs another hole in my yard, he's going in it.
He's going.
he must have caught that mole.
I
he
mean,
caught a
it's
mole or
on-
something back there though, because
Well, he should have of many holes. He's probably got about what?
well, and
Is there
some of
50
them,
holes back
There's
there?
got to be 50.
Some
Little,
of
they're
them-
all little holes, but they're
some of them look like maybe the mole was in there, and that's why they're.
You
like,
could twist your.
that was
ankle.
done in a day.
That was in one day.
At least I would say 90% of them were done in a day.
and it went up into his downspout. Did you see the nest me and
Yeah.
Jeff pulled out of there? So that's where it was. It was nestled in there, and it must have came out.
And then he
and
pulled everything off.
And it tried to burrow into one of its holes, and he just went after
And
it.
he escapes.
Yeah,
But he doesn't run off. He's just an ass about it. He'll get out of the fence and then he'll just wait by the gate,
Right.
just so I can get out. Or he'll come and sit on the front porch,
Right.
Because I'll see him on my ring. There was one time,
just recently, or
no,
It's been a
no,
while.
it's been a while because since I put the stakes to hold down the fence,
that has worked.
that's worked.
Okay,
I don't
we
think
have
he's
more.
gotten out since then. And then as long as I remember to put the
clips
in the gate
because
so
he knows
can't
how to
lift the
open a
flap.
gate.
That's worked. But before I got all the stakes down, there was a time I was somewhere. Sarah was home, but I was running like an errand or something. And my ring goes off, so I look at the ring. There's Rigby sitting on the porch just waiting to be let in. So I called her, and she's like, "What?"
He does do that because we saw him on a Facebook ad.
Well, yeah, he got out when
Yes,
he
they
was
said,
working.
"Whose dog is this? He's loose." And then, but the picture is he's sitting outside my gate.
Yeah.
Yes, he's sitting right outside
He's
your
like,
gate, and
I
they're
need to get
like,
back-
they
get
didn't
back
know if
in.
he was friendly enough that they could let him back in.
Because he has such separation anxiety that when he runs off, he'll eventually realize he's alone, and he's like, "I can't have that. I gotta go back home."
Yeah, but in the meantime, he destroys
He'll eat garbage.
and then he'll decide.
or if
he'll
a
roll in
if a rabbit
diapers.
or a squirrel goes by him, he's in hunting mode. Then
He's
Like,
killed
he forgets that he's alone when he's in hunting
Well,
mode.
how
He
many-
just
he's killed-
goes.
a few squirrels. At
Squirrels.
least 2 or 3, maybe
She
3.
said 2 just recently.
he is a
Yeah.
hunter. There's
and
no
then
two ways
and
about
I'm
it.
sure he got that mole or whatever
Okay,
because he
but-
quit digging.
It's amazing because my backyard's okay size, but it's not huge. It's not like he
not
has
big enough for a running squirrel, like for him to.
A squirrel will be able to get out though.
It should be
A
able
squirrel
to.
can climb up the fence,
Yeah.
can climb
The-
up, can
the
climb
tree.
anything. So he only has like 5 seconds max to
get it,
to
and
get
he
it,
and he's got
and
caught
he's
him.
gotten it. And then he doesn't even eat it. I think he just wants to play,
and he just
but he'll
throws
like
it up.
shake it and
He-
break its neck, and then
He,
he'll be like, "Oh,
he
my
shakes
friend's
it like
dead."
it's a head, like it's a stuffed
And then he
animal.
just leaves
I
it in the
think that's
yard.
from them having these stuffed animals as toys. They learn like they think it's okay to shake them, and they
Oh, he
they
shakes it.
kill
Well,
them,
'cause
and
that's
then
what I
they
think,
don't
like,
realize it.
Like by instinct, I think they do that to kill it, but I don't
Yeah.
think he. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like but yeah,
he is
then-
something. I mean, he's a hunting dog. You just can't get it out of him. He's part corgi. No, not corgi.
No,
He's part shepherd,
German Shepherd, Border Collie.
collie, and what's the
Beagle.
and
Beagle,
Blue
that's
tick
he's
the
beagle.
half beagle.
He's
That's
half
the beagle.
blue tick beagle.
that
and
half
that's-
beagle is his. That's the one that
The
takes
hunter.
over.
Yeah.
It seems
And
like it's more of a personality than
Someone
every-
said you could
Yeah.
take
other
him
ones.
down to Houston and still train him to be like a sniffer. Like he could get.
Oh, he's a
job.
sniffer.
I mean,
We know
because
he's
I
a
think
sniffer.
if he was trained to sniff a certain thing out, I think he would do very
Oh,
well.
maybe, yeah,
I mean, you
probably.
could put him in the whatever, the narcotics
in
unit,
the
and
bomb squad.
yeah, or the bomb squad, or whatever thing he was taught to sniff out, he would. Like if he had to sit, if they taught him to sit when he smelled it, or bark, or point, or whatever, he would learn that really good. All you'd have to do is start rewarding him when he found that, and he would probably pick that up. Like
If God forbid, I'm not, but if something would happen, would you get another dog?
Not for a while, unless because Sarah's family, they have Luke.
Is that like a bigger poodle? Is that what that is?
I think he's a mix of some. I don't know. I have to ask her. I
Kind
should
of
know. She said
reminded me
before,
of
I can't-
Debbie's dog.
He's kind of
Jason's dog.
he has like poodle fur. He might be, but I think he has something else. I might be wrong. I
so maybe
can't
he's
remember.
a poodle mixed with
but-
something.
He's a big dog, but he's really friendly.
Is he calm too?
He loves to play, but he's not. He doesn't like attack you. He doesn't run off. Like he just stays in the yard. They have like a hookup for him, but if you're outside, he'll just stay around you, and then he'll come right back in the house. Like he's just a really good dog. I mean, but you can't guarantee.
No.
Because I watched the training videos and stuff with Rigby,
And
and
you
I
did
worked
a lot,
with
and he
him,
does
and
tricks.
and he does tricks and stuff, and he's smart, but he's so strong-willed that you just can't break him out of certain bad habits. So I don't know if I could get like a easier to train dog, maybe, but I think I'm gonna need a break.
Would you, if something happened with Rigby, would you make a throw rug out of him? Do you remember the story?
Oh,
we
yeah,
did this
the story we did
last
last
we
week.
talked about. Didn't we talk about this too?
No, they-
that was
they-
if you wanted to clone your dog.
to clone him.
This
right.
is like instead of you can make a rug. out of him.
Instead
That
of
is just-
having him ashes and having or putting him in a pet
It's-
cemetery, you can make a rug out of him, or you
I
can
don't
make
know,
a
it's
stuffed
weird.
animal out of him.
It's weird to me, like it's not weird when I guess it's weird to say, like if it's an animal you don't know, the deer I killed, like,
Yeah.
I had no connection to that deer.
No,
It was
I can eat that.
I can eat it, put it on the wall, whatever. But it's like I knew that dog. I don't want him
Yes.
to be a lamp or whatever.
Yeah, or
like,
a floor rug.
a shade
seems a
or
little
whatever. I mean, to me, because like I do see dogs as being like part of the family.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's like, would you do that? Like, let's skin grandma and
No.
put her on the chair? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I know it's not the same
Have her
thing,
preserved.
but like that's how I see it.
But
being
other
as,
people
like, a
said it was
family
like
member.
having their urn with their ashes on the mantle on the.
But it's
that's
different.
different.
Because you're not seeing it. It's
yeah,
in,
and
you
you're
know,
not
it's
seeing the person.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the ashes. Yeah.
I want to. We'll get away from because Rigby always seems to be the topic because he is a topic in his
He's
own
just-
right. If he could
He's an
talk, he'd have his own
interesting dog.
podcast.
Yeah.
You ever want to be? You know, you have a lot of people like to metal detect. You know, and they find a lot of interesting things. There's a friend at work that actually does, and he finds a lot of great stuff. Well, this guy, Steve Andrews, he found a wedding band at St. Albans Bay in Jersey, and so he put it on Facebook in hopes of finding the woman that it belonged to. And so he did. He reached out and he got a hold of the lady. The lady said, "Toss it back into the ocean." Apparently, she threw it there. She threw it in there because it was after a bad divorce. She said, "Put it back in the sea."
Oh.
So I don't know what he did with it. It doesn't really say.
Because someone could still find mine.
Yeah, she tossed it after having a bad divorce. What if it's I mean, you know, I don't do. Would you say you threw it back in, and if
And
it's
then
worth
just hawk it.
has some diamonds in it, and you're like, it's not a bad
Well, if
looking
it's
ring.
just a band, I don't know. But still, even gold or platinum or whatever
Save it
it's
for
made
your
of.
next marriage.
It was a 1989
You
wedding
could have it
ring.
melted and re put into
Throw it back
resized.
in the ocean. That must have
would-
been
I
quite a
would-
wedding.
I would think sell it if you never wanted to see it again. Like, why? You know what I mean?
Well, you could still, take it back and then do something, or melt it down, do something. Maybe if you have
make something else out
make
of it.
something, but maybe maybe it was really bad. Maybe it was such a bad divorce that
she didn't
you know,
want
maybe it
to
was
do.
I don't know. I mean, we don't know because it doesn't say. It just
Well-
says throw it back in the ocean.
Well, because you remember.
Actually, isn't that polluting? So I really shouldn't do that anyway. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, because we have a family friend who he had his metal detector right around my graduation.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Which is hilarious to me because he also came to my friend's graduation with his metal detector. And I mean, but most of the people there didn't know who he was. So they're like, who's that guy just going around
Come
the
into
yard
a
with
graduation, doing some metal detecting.
Well, and then he made you mad because he started digging in the
he was
yard,
digging it up,
and
yeah.
he hit a water, wasn't it? Did he hit a gas line or something? What did he hit?
Oh, I don't know.
Right?
I thought he
hit-
found something, but it
well,
wasn't.
He thought he found something, but he hit like a water pipe.
I didn't think he was that far down, but I thought he found a piece
No,
of
it wasn't.
pipe.
It wasn't that deep. The pipe wasn't that deep. I don't think.
Oh, I don't know. That's really going down after that. Whatever.
But I just think, and also, is there? Can you make a claim if someone is metal detecting on your property?
You have to. They have to ask first. They have to ask permission first.
Right, but they get to keep it if they find something, or if it's on your
Well,
property.
because
Are you
I
like,
lost my
well,
one wedding ring at a park. So if they find her keepers, it's at a
A
park.
lot of metal detectists, however you say it, metal detectists, will
detectives.
detectorists. Is that how you
Metal
say
detectives?
that? Metal detectorist, right?
Yeah, it says detectorist.
Will actually try and find. They'll take a picture of the whatever they find. If it's a ring. Now, if it's
try
like
to
a
find
half
the
a dollar or something, they're not gonna.
Right.
They're not
Oh,
gonna
I
do
would
that.
love to see my first original.
But a lot of them
one.
would do that. I've a friend at work, he found one, and the lady she had lost it while she was gardening, and could not find it. And he found it, and I guess she gave him some money and was really just appreciative and say throw it back in the dirt.
I would
So it must have been a
like
better.
to know if the diamonds are still in mine that I lost.
Well, it's gone now. It's in that
It's
field
been-
somewhere
Well, Nathan was a baby, so it's 33
from
years
a long
ago.
time ago. We'll finish up this section with for this. This is just kind of tells you where we are as a country. A grocery shopper in California filed a class action lawsuit against T.W. Garner Food Company because he says it's false advertising over their Texas Pete brand hot sauce. So you might be wondering, what's the issue? Well, it's because the Texas Pete hot sauce is not made in Texas, but North Carolina. And he claims he was under the impression that Texas Pete hot sauce was produced in Texas when he purchased a $3 bottle in September of 2021.
And how much is he suing for?
$3.
It's probably $3. It doesn't say.
He probably won something out of it.
He said the language and images displayed on the front label of the product and the time of the purchase understood the product to be Texas product. What
This
makes
is a bit
the
of a reach.
difference?
This is a bit of a reach.
I mean, what makes the difference? So it has a lassoing cowboy, which are images. Oh, you're going to buy this Texas
Just because it's from Texas?
hot sauce?
So if it said Louisiana hot sauce, you wouldn't buy it?
That's what I'm wondering.
well,
That's not.
it's the style, though. You know what I mean? Like when can I sue Kentucky Fried Chicken because it's made right here? Like,
It's
you know
not
what I
in
mean?
Kentucky.
It's not in Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's false advertising.
Yep, he's not.
But it's the style. It's like it's the
a
style of Kentucky
chicken.
Fried style. And
What it
this
says
is
on
like,
their website that it's made in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
so that's not false advertising.
Well, just I mean, I guess
It's
it doesn't say on
Texas-
their label.
It's like Texas inspired.
It's inspired by Texas cookhouse.
I think he's
Yeah,
he's got to lose that suit, right?
I don't even know why you. It's a waste of money
It's a waste. Well, he thinks
taxpayers' money.
He thinks he's going to get something out of it.
because of a hot sauce being made in North Carolina instead of in Texas because it says it's Texas Pete. It doesn't say state of Texas.
Maybe Pete's from Texas. That's where he got his
maybe.
recipe.
Yeah, the Pete. Yeah, maybe it was from Pete down in Texas.
I mean, it's kind of hard to get a mascot for North Carolina.
yeah,
North Carolina Nikki. Like that just doesn't have the ring.
It doesn't have-
It's
not-
Texas Pete.
Not Texas Pete is like, yeah, and that's why he bought it for $3, I guess. Didn't say if it was any good. I'm not a big hot sauce guy anyway, so I wouldn't know. But this is where we are. This is where we're headed as a country. It's just that kind of stuff. We're just headed down
ridiculous.
this rabbit hole. And I don't know if we're going to get
Maybe
out.
it identifies as Texas sauce.
Right.
Well, like
which
I
you're
said,
allowed to
maybe
do.
The original recipe is from Texas because Pete is from Texas, and
We
he
don't
got
know
it.
how that
We don't know how
sauce
that's
feels.
right.
on
We
the
don't know how it
inside.
feels on the. That's right. That's exactly. It might feel like it's from Texas. All right, so we'll leave it at that because that's yeah. We're heading down a rabbit hole ourselves, where we might be going. You know what? We got 3 minutes before this first. This was interesting, and I don't know if you pick your nose or not, but apparently there is a potential link, between picking your nose or plucking nose hairs and dementia. It's kind of, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, every once in a while, I'm sure no one would admit to picking their nose, but sometimes you got one in there that you got to get it
Well,
out.
if you got a
That's why you
winner,
have a
you know.
Kleenex and you blow it out.
Research, go ahead.
No, but so if there's not one in sight and like it's irritating you,
I have post-nasal drip.
You kind of turn to one side, you know.
You
You
just-
kind of just wipe it on
Yeah.
your sleeve, you know.
Yeah, try to blow it out best you can. Griffith University, the researchers proved that chlamydia pneumonia, that's a bacteria that's linked to onset dementia, can enter the central nervous system through, well, they did it through mice. I don't know if they plucked the mice's nose hair out to figure this out, but how come we're not up in arms about that? These poor mice are just getting beat to hell.
yeah, that's animal
For
abuse.
us.
I think people are like there are people who are
But
really
they
upset about.
apparently,
these kind
according to this article, Health and Well-Being, they're saying that it can go directly up the nose into the brain
And cause dementia.
and cause dementia because I don't
So they're
pluck
saying-
my nose hair, but I don't like my nose hair sticking out.
No, it's not a good
You sometimes
look.
if it's real long, you can feel it in the breeze, just kind of.
Well, that's why you
it's
know.
too long. That one hair.
That's why they make them
comes
little
sticking out.
scissors.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Well, it's easy if you have a mustache because it can.
Oh, it just gets
It
caught in the
just blends
stash.
in, gets cut. Yeah.
So you need a stash.
Okay, so they're saying you should pluck and.
No, they're saying that it's probably better you don't.
Oh, you
pluck.
don't pluck
Yes.
because
If you're
You-
plucking,
You
then
could
it
get
gives
more.
it a
The
better airway.
bacteria-
Will go up inside,
Right.
easier path. Where if it gets stuck in the hair,
then you
you can blow your nose
right
and get some of that out.
Get rid of that bacteria.
No, it doesn't say. I mean, I think I don't can imagine plucking nose hair. I have a hard enough time plucking anything, let alone a nose hair. Ooh, that'd make your eyes water for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is published in the journal Scientific Reports. Shows that viruses and bacteria can bypass the blood barrier by taking a shortcut directly to the brain via the olfactory nerve, which is up through your
Nose.
So, yeah, don't pluck or pick. Dang it, that big booger might be keeping you from staying healthy. Dementia is not something you want. I mean, it's sad to watch when people go through that. It's brutal to watch.
It is.
They don't remember who you are.
Who
They
would
don't.
have thought you could have demented boogers?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
It's not good. So I guess I'm no picking, especially in the car. I don't like picking my nose, get caught in the car. That's the worst. All right. So that's it for that. We come back. We're going to talk about should food labels have physical exercise that's needed to burn off calories on the label. Should that be on there? Would you buy it?
How much activity
So in other words,
you have
if you
to
eat
do
a
if you eat
hamburger,
one
it'll
of
tell
these.
you how
Run
much
for 10
walking, running.
minutes.
Yes, we're going to talk about that coming up next. So you want to start a podcast. Maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun. And I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. And it is a lot of fun just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest, and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And your show, believe it or not, can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes, and they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great-looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website, and all you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players, and you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter, and they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. Welcome back. I'm Ron.
I'm Terry.
Zack is with us as we drug him into the house as he was trying to go home and recuperate.
Get the jelly out of my underwear.
Get the jelly out of his underwear. From the good time. It's a fun time. Luckily, hopefully you won't have to do it
Again.
Yeah. I want to ask this question, and we can ask our friends that are listening too. What food could you not live without? And this is, I'm trying to think.
I think most people would say pizza.
A lot of people eat pizza. That's true.
It's easy. It's quick. You can pick it up on the way home. You can make it yourself. There's a pizza parlor in every corner.
What's the go-to? What's a go-to for you if you're coming home? You have that the hangry. You're looking for something to satisfy that hangry. What's a go-to? It's just about anything for me anymore. It seems like Fenn's got me hooked on graham crackers because he loves to take. If you break the graham cracker in half, you give him the half. He loves holding the half and eating it. So I eat the other half. I'm eating all these graham crackers.
That's interesting. I think he liked cinnamon.
Well, these are plain.
They're plain.
These are plain. Yeah.
I don't know. I just like food. Like I eat anything, you know. But I know a lot of people who would probably say like ice cream or something.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
But I also know just as many people have had like a bad experience where they ate ice cream and then either had like the stomach bug or because you remember, I think wasn't it Jared for a while? Like he didn't eat ice cream because he got real sick
On ice cream.
and he was puking and stuff, and then he couldn't eat ice cream for
Long time.
a long time after
Right.
that because Sarah's is she used it's been years, she said, since she's had a chocolate chip pancake because she got really sick. She used to love
And we eat
chocolate
'em
chip
all the time.
pancakes. She got really sick, and now if she takes a bite of a chocolate chip pancake, she'll have the memory of getting sick, and she can't eat them. It makes her sick again.
Just for having that experience.
Just from having that experience. So
You didn't eat chili for a long time.
Oh,
after
yeah,
when you were
because
little, you
I
threw
got
up chili.
sick. Chili.
I remember that.
Oh,
Yeah.
he had Ange and Tim.
Oh,
see?
I exploded. Chili all over the walls. Oh, it was
There or
awful.
here?
There.
Over at their
it was
house.
There.
One time when we went to
She
their
came
house,
in, she
and
said, "What the hell happened in here?" It was coming out violently, and I can eat chili again, but it took me a long time.
For years, he said he wouldn't eat chili. I'm like, well, you love chili, and that was why, because he got sick
Were
at
you
her house,
staying
and it
over
was
there
chili.
or something?
You
No,
were
I
playing
think-
cards, and then I felt weird because Josh wanted to we were watching. I remember it because SmackDown was on. We were watching wrestling.
Oh, okay.
And then we would wrestle, throw each other around, you know. And then I was like, something's wrong. I'm just not.
Something hits bottom.
Yeah, I was like, something's not good. And then I went into the bathroom and got rock bottom by that chili. Oh, it's awful.
But you can eat chili now?
I'm good now.
That
Yeah.
would bring back some
there was
horrific
3
memories.
years he wouldn't eat chili.
I'm trying
I'll
to think.
take the bread. That's it.
I've never-
put
you
some
don't-
peanut
It was
butter.
more
on
of like a pile driver at first,
Yeah.
and then it started coming out the other.
Well, I don't know. How'd you get it on the walls?
He
That was
threw
just
up.
how it was projectile.
Oh, it was throw up.
Oh, he was.
It was both. It came out.
Oh.
It was first. Yeah, it was one end and then the other, and it was bad. And then
We should have just took you outside.
and I think because
Hosed you
washed you
down.
down.
and then someone realized I had been in there for a while, and then
And I went in and I cleaned it.
it was,
up.
Oh,
it was,
my
it was
gosh.
bad. Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's not embarrassing.
Awful.
We didn't even talk about embarrassing moments. That would be one.
That was bad.
I don't know if I could eat chili after something like that.
Oh, he didn't eat chili
No,
for a long time.
years. I didn't eat it for years after that.
Well, how long has it been since Sarah had the chocolate pancake, I wonder?
She was a kid. She was.
And she still has
she
those
still
memories.
can't eat chocolate chip
What about
pancakes.
pancakes in general?
Is better, but it still sometimes triggers.
I was gonna say, it wouldn't
It's
matter, right?
It doesn't
Pancakes
really
are
matter.
a quick and easy
It
meal.
still
if you
triggers
want
it. I
something
still
quick.
don't think. I think she can have one and then it triggers it and she's done.
Wow. That's tough because that's our go-to.
That's our go-to when we didn't make dinner.
Yeah. it's
We
a
might have it tonight.
You know what? It doesn't sound too bad because we did go to lunch. It's been a rough weekend because we ended up, we moved furniture. We got that done. We got a hot water tank had to be replaced. That was painful. And then her
And his gutters,
downspouts
and
were all
gutters.
coming off the house. But it has been an expensive weekend for sure. Well, we've been eating park. I think out of the last 4 days, I think we've been there 3 times. Because Friday night, we ended up going.
And then today.
I thought we went it was
Was it
Saturday night. We went because
I don't know. We went sometime.
we went
and
like
then
3
today.
times in the last 4 days, I think.
I don't think so. Twice.
I think so. We both got the Turkey Club. Well, maybe it was twice in 4 days. I don't remember eating one day. Maybe it was Friday we didn't eat. We didn't go. No, we had the tuna because you had tuna.
I had
casserole.
tuna, and then didn't we
That's
go
what it
late
was.
that night? Was it that night?
That was
we went?
Saturday night because we got
And what
home.
did we do Friday night when we got home? We eat cereal or something.
Tuna.
Tuna
Casserole.
noodle casserole.
Yeah.
That was left over.
Anyway, it's been a busy weekend. Nobody cares. I don't know why I even brought it up. So, did we really say what we could live without?
I think your listeners are.
They already turned.
Yeah, and they're writing down everything.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, Friday tuna.
Yeah, tuna, Friday, hot water tank, very expensive. Did we say what food you could just? Is there one food? See, I like chocolate, but that's not really that's just
That's why I said pizza, because it's the bread, it's the sauce, you can have meat on it, you can have
anything
cheese
Italian
on it, you can put almost anything on pizza,
Italian.
and
But I think not live without. To be honest, I don't know if there's one particular food that I couldn't live without.
bread.
Well, okay, I am a bread person with lots of butter that's piled very high, like goes right through your arteries to your heart. Speaking of food, there's a place over in England, and I think they're trying to bring it over here, where food labels should include the amount of physical exercises needed to burn off calories. So
we would have to keep busy all the time with all our Italian.
So consumers would be able to see on the label itself, like for instance, let's see, they have one here. Well, I have a bunch because I wrote them down because these are foods that I like. And we all like. I have it on my phone too. But if you were to drink a soft drink, just a 350 milliliter, I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's a can. I didn't look it up. It said it would take 12 to 14 minutes of cardio, 20 to 25 minutes of weight training, just to work off the calories from a soft drink.
Yeah, that's why pop is so bad for you.
A chocolate bar is 55 minutes of power walking.
Oh, and I fed us it all on the way
Yeah, we all
home.
had on the way home. We all had pieces of chocolate bar. This is probably the whole bar. 35 minutes of bike riding. I only do 30 during a day.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way that's enough to. How about one slice of pizza? A 90-minute walk for a slice of pizza.
Well, I know whenever
at 3.5 miles per hour.
Well, whenever I walk on my treadmill, it'll say how many calories. And sometimes it's like I do a mile and a half or 2 miles and it only says 96 calories. I'm like, that's not even a whole meal. I didn't even walk off a whole meal.
30 minutes, and most times I'm over 100 calories, which is
that's not even a whole meal. Yeah.
It's not even a piece of some of this stuff, a bite.
Mm-hmm.
French fries, 40 minutes of vigorous swimming.
I'm in trouble.
64 minutes of weight training, 98 minutes of walking for French fries.
So I need a couple hour walk.
And
today,
of course,
then,
my kryptonite, donuts.
Yeah.
And you guys had that donut thing in the St. Clair cafe. And it looked really good.
It was good.
Should have gone back and got me one for.
That was the last one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. So if you have figures. So if you have a donut, I couldn't eat because I was waiting to go back. But one donut, you swim for 35 minutes. You would walk for 54 minutes. Or take a 1 hour yoga class for just one donut. So I know you like Taco Bell. So I looked up this
Who
one that
likes
was.
Taco
He
Bell?
does.
Oh.
He likes tacos. You like tacos too.
I like tacos. I eat them.
Yeah, you both eat them.
It's like the lowest grade.
So if you get a cheesy, what is that, gordita, crunch beef, plus you add nacho supreme and a Pepsi, it's 1,190 calories. You would have to have 3 hours and 32 minutes of walking, or 1 hour and 47 minutes of running, or 4 hours and 28 minutes of yoga. Although you could dance. Dancing's 2 hours and 59 minutes, so almost 3 hours.
Just do a marathon.
Rollerblading, 2 hours and 14. That's for men. For women, it's 5 hours of yoga.
I knew it was more.
2 hours and 6 minutes of running, and 4 hours of walking. Why is women are really getting burned on that taco?
That's rough.
And it is rough. Big Mac.
Well, because they had at Penn State they had a dance-a-thon. It was called Thon, and it was for like cancer or something. I can't remember. Well, at least that's what they said. Maybe it's just all these college kids burning off their Taco Bell.
That could be.
Because there's a lot of Taco Bell.
Did you go?
No, I never went to. No.
You didn't go to anything up there in Penn State when you were up there?
Nothing. I mean, that would have been a good one. No, if this is bad. Like I should have done that because that was a good cause. You paid and you like danced for as long as you could, and I believe it was for a good cause. I can't really remember.
No, you're just saying free. It wasn't like you had to come up with a partner and do some kind of salsa or something. It was just a dance.
It was just you just dance.
It was continual dance, or could you take a break? They do a 5-minute break, or you just?
I don't know because I never went.
That's right, you never went. What am I asking?
But like I went to like I gave blood and stuff because they had free pizza, which is the wrong, not exactly the right reason to do it, but like you're a broke college kid, like yeah, you can take some blood if I get a meal
just to
out
have
of
a meal
to get some free pizza.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I mean, when you're struggling and you're not really working.
Yeah, and I would pass the place when I'm coming from class, and I was like, oh yeah,
it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. An extra slice for some plasma, yeah, go for it.
Can I have one of those donuts over
there?
there
Take some marrow while you're at it, and take a whole box.
Yeah.
Did you like Penn State overall, or you weren't?
No.
You like Waynesburg better?
Oh, okay. So Penn State was great if you're going for the wrong reasons.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's lots to do. There's a lot of people. The campus is beautiful.
And it's big.
It is
but
nice.
It's big. Honestly, I would say the quality of your education is so much better at a small school. It's first of all, it's harder to cheat. Like no one ever mentions this, but when you have a smaller class and your professor can actually like grade your essays and you can have like open-ended problems, it's actually harder to cheat because you can be assessed better as a student because your professor has less students. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
At Penn State, I had classes with literally hundreds of other kids.
Yeah, you had 500.
So all my
tests
were
class.
Scantron, and they give you like different forms and stuff, but they're all like standard questions that you can just look up and memorize the answers. And when I'm taking like physics and stuff, I'm not necessarily learning the concepts. I'm just remembering, oh, this problem has these numbers. I'm just going to plug it into this. You know what I'm saying? Like you get into the wording of the question and you just throw the numbers into this array. I'm not necessarily understanding the concept. I'm just,
and you can
know what
get
I'm saying?
A, B, C, or D
and
out
I can
of it.
get, and
oh, well, that one, you could probably mark one off just by looking at it,
Yeah, honestly, I think it's amazing that like engineers and stuff come out of these big universities because I would bet only a quarter of them are actually qualified. Yeah, so many students I was in engineering with were all copying homework off of each other. They would there's this site called Chegg where they would just get all the answers to their homework on Chegg, and then it didn't matter anyway because like there's some teaching assistant who would just look over it, see if it's done, and so
and grade it. So
I don't know. For me, anyway.
But you were in a smaller program for engineering,
I think college overall, my hot take is a scam, unless you're going for very specific things, is a scam, because they make you take all these classes
that you don't need,
that have nothing to do with your major. You don't remember anything when you're done with them. And then it's just to make a bunch of pretentious non-teachers who are professors, give them a little bit of an ego boost to fail a broke 20-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a fan of big universities. I think they're a waste of your time and money, just personally. And honestly, at the end of the day, when you're applying for a job, as long as you have the degree,
it doesn't matter where
they
it's
don't
from.
really care.
No.
People act like, oh, you're. It means so much more if
from Duquesne
Ohio
or
State.
something.
if it's the same. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's impressive if you get one from like an Ivy League, Harvard, or like Carnegie Mellon's a good school, and it's like hard, so it can be a little more impressive. But as long as if you're good at the interview and you have the degree and you know what you're talking about, I believe that person's going to get the job over someone who made it through a technically a better school, in quotes. I think if that person is just like average but passed at a big name school, they won't be taken over someone who went to a smaller school who really knows their stuff and interviews well. At the end of the day, I really don't think it makes that big of a difference. So, and I tell kids who come into my class when they're like, well, I don't know whether I want to go here or if I want to do a smaller school closer to home. I tell them personally, save your money, commute if you can. Go to the smaller school. If you don't know what you want to do, don't just go to school undecided. That's a waste.
Or take
right
a
there,
couple
you're wasting
of classes at community college that you could pay for
up to
and see if you even like
$40,000 you're wasting. When you could take the same classes that they put, if you go in undecided, they put you in like general English, basic history classes. You can go to community college, pay $2,000 for all those classes, and then, when you decide what you want to do, you saved all that money and you can start right into your program at most schools. So I think people get so caught up into, I have to go to Penn State. I got to go to Ohio State. And that's if you really want to do that because, you like the football games or whatever, go do that. But for me, I think the quality of education is not better, in my opinion. I think it's worse because you're just a number. And most of
they wouldn't work with you at all when you wanted to change out of
engineering.
Oh, no.
No, they wanted to squeeze every penny.
You had a high grade point.
I had a good grade point average, and they wouldn't let me transfer programs. They wouldn't let they would, but
they weren't
even taking the same credit from the same school.
Yeah,
Waynesburg took 90% of my credits. When Penn State wouldn't take their own credits from their own school to transfer programs, it's a big scam, is all it is.
What I've noticed, just going through your, from what you had done for coming out teaching, what it seemed like to me was when you come out of Waynesburg, you were prepared. Their teaching program to me seemed like he
was ready for interviews.
Yeah, interviews.
He had a portfolio ready. They had everything lined up. All his paperwork was ready to go. He was ready for a job.
I had a class my senior year where they set us up. We did mock interviews. We set up, our assignment was
to make the portfolio. So from all of your student teaching, from your placements, and they prepared you before that. I think the way the program is set up, it was perfect because you had a placement every year you were there. So you started out small, like you just observed at first, and then you got more and more duties as you climbed up. But they told you to keep something from every placement because then you could put it in your portfolio, like even stuff that you took from, if you're just observing, I like this lesson from my host teacher. Let's, can I get a copy of that? Can I use that? And then you can put that in your portfolio and say, I observed this. I like this lesson. And then, maybe when you took on more duties, you take an artifact like, here's something I tutored a kid. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
And that all goes to experience that's valuable to talk about in your interview. Sometimes they don't ask for the portfolio, but even if you get stuck, you can just open up, it's there, and you can be like, let me show you that. And I wanted to show people it blows my mind when I heard other people who came from Waynesburg, they were like, no one opened my portfolio. I was like, well, make them, because you worked hard on that. Yep. Show them what you have to offer. Be like, here's a lesson I taught. But anyways, Waynesburg did, I think, a great job. We even went to a job fair, and they said the whole point was, they said, you could take a job if you really want, but that wasn't the point. You went to the fair to go practice interview. You got real interviews from places all around the country. You got immediate feedback most of the time because you could.
And you got quite a few offers that day.
Which often happen because schools in the South are desperate for teachers. But yeah, I just don't think you get that same quality of, I was ready. I had a good student teaching experience. Not everyone has a good host teacher, that depends too.
That helps for sure.
But I had a good setup. I had a lot of support. There were people who knew who I was and what my strengths were and what I needed to work on. They knew me personally at Waynesburg. At Penn State, I never felt that.
You didn't feel that, but even with some of because you were in
There were professors who cared.
You were in an engineering program that there was only 100 per year that they took in. And by the time you dropped out, there was way less than 75.
I mean,
there
maybe
was like 50 kids
if I
left
would have
in that.
stayed in long enough, maybe it got better. I don't know. Maybe it got
because
more
it was
personalized.
dwindling down as you went.
So there's a chance. But even by that time, like for the most part, none of my professors knew who I was.
You don't think you're one that your advisor did or anyone?
No. My advisor had 300 kids he was keeping track of. He didn't know who I was. He knew who I was for the 5 minutes I was in his office.
Or if you had him in class, he knew who you were then. Like if you
No.
You don't think he would have
either.
known? He would have known if you answered questions in his class.
You don't
or
answer
anything?
questions.
Because there's too big.
He didn't ask questions. He didn't teach like a traditional teacher. He just said, "Here's the equation. Here's how you do it. Go figure it out."
But didn't the bottom line was, though, I think you got to the point where you're like, "Do I really want to do this?"
Right.
Right. I mean, it got to the point where you're like, I know you liked design.
Yes.
You liked the design.
I did.
It was, and the engineering part went along with it, obviously. But I think when it came down to, can I do this? Is this something I want to do for the rest of your life? And then when did math come into the picture? Was that something you thought about?
Yeah. Well, I've always liked math.
Okay.
Because I loved calc my senior year.
It came easy for you.
It was easy, and I thought it was fun.
And in engineering, he had to have a lot of math and science. He had to have all the physics classes. Did you have a chemistry class too? So he had a lot of math and science. So I just told him when he said he wanted to come home, he didn't want to do this. I was like, no, go switch over to math or science. Go see your advisor.
But they didn't want to do that.
Well, they did switch him over, and he took math for the rest of that year.
Yeah, I took more
math classes so that they would be more apt to take them for his teaching degree.
Right?
No, that was 3 years in.
Oh, junior.
I don't know. No, I don't remember. Anyway, it wasn't
It was
until
a 5 years master's
when I decided I wanted
in.
to. Yeah, it wasn't until I decided I wanted to be home.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Yeah.
And then at Waynesburg, my advisor there said, "Well, we'll put you in the classroom and see," because she's like, like math is good. There's a lot you can, especially in math and science. There's many options, but she said, why don't we just try it out for teaching?
Yeah, because you might not like that.
And she'll be like, "We'll know right away, and if that doesn't work, we can try like actuarial science or something more statistic like that." And so I was like, okay, I'll try it, and I just loved it. I really liked it.
They did give him a lot of options. He could have done any kind of actuary, or he could have done any kind of if he didn't like the math, he could have went and took the physics, and he could have been a physics teacher if he would have liked that better. I mean, they gave him
the smaller schools will work well. At least in Waynesburg, it seemed like they wanted to work with you to find out what. Because, you are spending a lot of money, and if schools would tend to look at, they don't want to do that. They want to take the money in. But
exactly.
If the schools would look at the child and they say, well, I'm kind of leaning towards this, but you like this, you like math, we'll see teaching. But if that doesn't work, you have these options.
Right.
Or whatever it might be. Maybe it's...
Right. And they should keep that open so that you can switch over and not have a lot of wasted credits in there.
Yes, but see, and when I talked to someone at Penn State about it, I was like, I'm kind of stuck in limbo here. I don't know what I like even. And they did give me options. They said, well, with your credits, here are some ways you can go. And then, but all of it would have added significant time and money. And it was just like, well, forget this.
To go over to teaching, it was going to be another 3 more years.
Well, for classes that are really similar, they would be like, well, this doesn't count for this, even though the curriculum is like 80% the same.
Yeah. That's how they get the money. That's why these guys make the money they make and the schools make the money they make. We'll have to continue this next time. We're going to have Sarah on here too. She wants to do a podcast, so we'll have her on as well. But boy, that went fast this hour. By the way, the Big Mac, if you eat a Big Mac and fries, it's about an hour, 20 minutes of walking.
Oh.
So feel like the Big Mac. I don't. Would you buy if
So I got us off topic.
Yeah, that's okay. But if you, that's okay. Well, I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
But if you were to, do you think that would work though? If people saw, I don't think it matters. If you saw on your whatever you're buying, they take this much.
I eat well, except when I go out. So.
I think people would maybe not take as much in.
Yeah, and we aren't real big fast food people anymore. I mean, we don't.
That's expensive.
And it used to be cheaper to eat fast food, and we used to do it when the kids were in sports, when we had to go from one sport to the other, or one, when we had 2 games on a Sunday or something. But we don't do that as
I don't know if it would make a difference if people would not buy as much junk food or whatever.
Because good food has got a lot of calories in it too.
Does.
Like your steel cut oats, a quarter cup is 170 calories.
Yeah, so it's there too. You'd have to do a lot of yoga.
But if you don't add any sugar or any salt to it, then you're, cutting down. You put, blueberries and almond milk on it, and you're probably adding 30 more calories.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks, Zach, for coming on. I appreciate it. We really got you. I got him started.
Sorry, you got me ranting.
No, that was good.
That is true.
I should have started with that. I didn't even think about we probably should do a whole podcast on that.
Oh, I could.
On education, on just education.
Education in general.
I think college is great if you know what you're going for.
And you know that's what you want to do. Like if you know you want to be a doctor.
All that for the next podcast. How's that?
Like if you know you want to be a doctor, you have to have the education.
Well, and then like I said, for the next time, I'll talk about how I actually think high school needs to change to accommodate what you're due afterwards. And they try because you have senior projects where you're supposed to do job shadows, which is fine, but it's not enough. It's not nearly enough because, there's
an easy way to get around all that. If you're a kid, it's kind of like you're not lazy, but you're like, you don't want to put a lot into it. You're only hurting yourself. Right. But if school would kind of push towards that to say, okay, you know what? Maybe college might not be your thing, but a trade school.
Right.
Do you like working on engines? You like working on motors? You like working on HVAC or maybe you like to weld? We need to be more in tune because that's what makes this world go around too.
Right. I mean, I don't know when schools got away from being like career oriented. Like the curriculum that's
we start in the middle school with career counseling.
See, we don't have. I mean, I'm
our
a middle school.
Our middle school starts career counseling. We even have an outside guy coming in for career.
But you know how many classes in high school are a total waste of time? And I say that, and I think some of the ones I teach are like, I know these kids aren't going to use this stuff, but like you know how many kids are going to use the quadratic formula after they're done with my class? Maybe one who goes into engineering. You know what I mean?
The formula part, but not the what was it?
Quadratic.
Quadratic.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even.
X
all right, let's save that for the next
plus
time.
Or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a.
Oh, God. Yeah, save that for the next time.
I like that stuff. But my point is I think my classes aren't even attuned to the needs of my students. Yeah. But they have to take it.
Yes.
And I just think it all needs to change.
Yeah, because if you're not college bound, they shouldn't be in that class.
Well, see, the point of my algebra classes is not necessarily what you learn in algebra. It's really
critical thinking.
It's to teach you how to think, which is important. And kids don't want to think today. They don't want to take the time to process any information. Everything is on their phone now, right?
And it's all given
it's all immediate. They have everything you need is on your phone, right? So why should they have to think about it? So they hate it. So I do think my classes are important. But I just think, do they need 4 years of this stuff? Like, you know what I mean? I think they would need a more, like one class that's dedicated to just critical thinking. And then other classes that's like, well, let's look at different areas that could be potential career options. You know what I mean?
And then when they're career options, then you need this, that, and this. Then you need all those math classes.
Right. And then the ones who are like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to be an engineer, be like, all right, come take pre-calc. And
then calc, yeah.
Yeah, but for the average kid to be taking trig, who...
He's never going to use it.
They maybe, I don't know, like, carpenters and stuff. Trig can come in and
that's true.
Really handy, the practical aspect. But then, the practical part of trig that most people use, I cover that in my first 9 weeks when we do right triangles and stuff. And then when we graph them, and all of this has uses, but you know what I mean? But like my point is like the farther you go into the school year, the less practical what I teach them. When we do,
unless they're going to college,
we have trig
for a
formulas, we have double angle, half angle, and they're like, well, what the heck is this for? And I'm like, well, this is it's specialized. Like it's useful for these 3 things.
Yeah. If you're going to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get on this the next time. And Sarah can jump in too. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook or Twitter, Just Talking Out Loud. You can email us at justtalkingoutloud@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe. You get us every Monday. We get a new episode every Monday. So it'll alert you on your phone so you won't fall behind. And we want to thank you for listening.
Have a blessed week.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.